Welcome to Deep Thought, having a vision for your future. And you know what? I probably talked about this someplace before, maybe a couple times, maybe even on my inspirational messages on Sundays. But I'm gonna tell you what, I really roll with spirit. Sometimes I get like moved. Someone say, "Hey, talk about this," and then somebody hit me up and say, "Hey, I was just thinking about that." So I roll with spirit, especially on this channel. Other channels, I got a list of stuff I put out. But on this channel, especially, I just roll with spirit. Sometimes on other channels. But having a vision for your future, I'm going to tell you what, every single person should have a vision for their future. Now, some people who get into it deeper might have a vision board. Now, vision board is where you take images of how your life want to be, the things you want to get into, and they put it all on a board and they look on it. And that's a powerful tool. And you could do that. You could write it down. You could use a picture, or shoot, you could just say, you know what, this is what I want. I already know. I don't need to put it on there. But the important thing is to have that vision for the future, because what does it do? What it does is it focuses you consciously and subconsciously on acquiring something, on getting something, right? Like I give you an example, and I use this. This is back in the '90s, right? And it was tight. So Rom didn't have Rom. It was tight for me, and I had lost a lot of weight. My body composition had kind of changed, right? So I needed some suits, and it was tight for a brother. I ain't gonna lie, it was tight. And but I had a vision of me being in a certain type of blue suit, doing like something very important in front of a crowd of people. There, when I did this, it was a public access TV show called Love and Happiness that I was on. Because I had written a pamphlet called Finding the Right Man for the Ladies. Somebody who was connected to the show purchased the pamphlet, then contacted me. So I was on the show. And then, put on a suit. Guy got in a suit. And I was sitting in front of like an audience and everything. And I was just like, wow, this is a blue suit, you know? Wow. And then there was another time I had a vision of me and some other people walking into a place that had a crowd there already, and we would be on a live panel. Lo and behold, it happened. And there's so many times, instances, I've known some people who will say, they wanted a certain type of house. They envisioned themselves being in that house. They got it. I know a lady friend of mine who said she wanted to work at a certain job, right? So before she even got that particular job, she would get in her car. She would get ready in the morning, get in her car, and just drive to the place like she was going to work. And she did that for a few weeks. She ended up getting that job. See, here's what having a vision does. It gives it's first of all consciously it's saying, okay, this is what I want. So you start consciously thinking how to make this happen. But the most important thing, you put that into your subconscious. And your subconscious will start making the change to you externally to get that position, to get that job, to make that particular vision happen. You know, it will actually make it happen, and it will do some stuff that you can't really see. You have a vision of something and you put it and you really want it bad, and you put it into your subconscious. It all of a sudden it goes to work. It say, oh, okay, this person, they want to wear these type of clothes, have this and that, have this type of freedom. Boom. Okay, we're going to do all that, because here's how it works. It will start making your body show a certain way, behave a certain way. You'll do some subconscious things. Like, oh, here's a good example. Okay, like somebody who seriously has a vision of being with a certain type of person, like for mating, right? They have a vision of it. They can see this person, everything, right? So they focus on that vision. Believe it or not, it works for most people who've actually tried it. But what it was, they believed in it so much deep down. So the subconscious say, "Oh, you want this type of person? Okay, I'm gonna start making those changes in you, so you can not only attract that type of person, but have an idea where to look." Like many people, I'll say several people who have like kind of did that, they'll say, I just had a feeling to go to this certain place this on this day. I don't usually go, but I met my soulmate, or I met my husband, or I met a person I was in a long-term relationship with, right? Because your subconscious is like saying, oh, we're going to make this happen. See, remember one thing about the subconscious, and this is why it's good to kind of program it. The subconscious is like an iceberg. When you see an iceberg, you see the top of it. It could be big as heck, right? You never see the bottom of it, which is like probably triple the size. So, your subconscious is operating like over 90% of who you are, and is making some decisions, in fact. And if you don't program it, you're just going to flow along. That's the thing. But you put that vision, have that vision board, have that idea, write it out every day, put it into your subconscious, right? Put it into your subconscious. It'll bring it back. In fact, I'm going to tell you what, you really want to make it work. Have the same desire for that vision to come true that you do for mating with a certain person. Now think about when you mate, like there's two types of mating. Like somebody you just happen to meet, and circumstances y'all end up having sex with some, but you so about the relationship. But then that person that hits you like a thunderbolt, like that thing, like you gotta have them, like men or women. You ever see that person? They just turned you on so much. You start exhibiting personality traits that you normally didn't have, or at least exhibit. You had it in you, but normally didn't exhibit, like in your conscious state. Like guys, the men list. You ever see that woman just so fine? You normally shy. You see her so fine, all of a sudden you say, "Hello there, how you doing, lady? Look, I just want you." Or women, normally y'all chilled out, but you see that guy just so fine, you go approach him. Okay, take that same energy and put it into your vision. Want that vision the same way you want that mate, or shoot, how you want that particular meal. The same feeling that you have to acquire something, you put that into your subconscious, that feeling, and that's the key to it. For the metaphysicians that practice what people call sex magic, that's part of the science. They changing their subconscious to bring something forth, because it will have you do things and go in directions, and it might, like I said, there's a deeper aspect to it. I ain't gonna get into that publicly, but that subconscious, it knows, it a guide, it everything. But in order for it to work properly, you got to have an idea where you're going. Because if you just go on some la 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 la, well, that's what the subconscious is like. Man, they don't want anything. I'm just gonna chill. Whatever program happen to be running in there, it's just gonna go. Even if it's a chaotic program. That's why you can get some people, they might have a chaotic program, be on a job or something. They keep losing jobs, they ain't figured it out. But deep down, they don't really want to be working. And the subconscious is like, oh, okay, you don't want to be here? Okay. I'm going to have you do some dumbass shit so they fire you. Or I'm going to have you sleep through that alarm so you be late for work. That's how deep it is. But you have that vision, you have that plan. What it does, it will focus you into acquiring that vision. It will keep you focused too. You want it bad enough, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. It's going to affect every aspect of your being. It's going to permeate your being. It's going to give you a certain type of aura that's going to draw to you what you want to get. And all the pieces. Like if you have a vision of being in a big 10-room house on 5 acres of land, and as you there, you might be thinking, well, how am I get there? How am I going to get there? I can't get there. What am I doing? But then you know what? Your subconscious, you got that vision of it anyway, right? And you believe it. You have faith that you can make that vision, right? All of a sudden, it's like, oh, subconscious is like, okay, we're gonna make this happen. You'll be in that house soon. Or you'll be in the house at some point, because everything that'll happen get you there. It might point you in the direction of a better paying job. It might give you an idea about a business opportunity that could be very lucrative for you. It might point you towards a mate that kind of want the same thing. So that's double the power. So yeah, the subconscious is powerful. And I could get deeper into this. It's almost worth a webinar. But it's not, you can't even call it magic. It's just a science. Somebody who doesn't know the process might say, "Oh, that's magic." It's like, or faith. It's like, no, it's a definite science to doing these things. So anyway, that's all I have for now. Think on this. Peace and blessings.